Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horn, and I'll bring you a video today titled, Never Temper Your Words for Any Woman. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. And to everyone who's ordered, I have some copies coming from the printer, and as soon as I get them, I'm shipping them out. It's that simple. I'm shipping everything right out as soon as I get it. So you all will have your books shipped out this week, everyone who's ordered. And thank you all for hanging in there with me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm as I continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. Never temper your words for any woman. When I was putting my notes together for this particular video, the understanding of this subject matter that I'm talking about tonight, it just wouldn't stop. I just had to say, it's time for me to make this video. And I'm doing a bit of a preamble and a precursor because this might be some of the deepest stuff I've ever said on video. I know the video I did, towards the end of last year, talking about beauty redefined. I went somewhere with that one. That was a very deep revelation. But this one, I don't know, man. You all be the judge. That's all I can say. Never temper your words for any woman. And you should never temper your words for any woman because, when you're tempted to temper your words for a woman, you are holding her in a higher esteem than you. You're holding her vagina above anything that you have to offer her. And so that's why you're afraid to tell the woman what's exactly on your mind. That's tempering your words. Anytime that you're afraid to speak exactly what innately comes to you in terms of the direction you want to give to women, the instruction you want to give to women, and ultimately the desire that you have that represents the experience that you want to have with women. If you're hesitant to express any of that, you are tempering your words. You're parceling out your desires with the woman because you're a parceled out version of yourself. You have not fully inhaled yourself and you are not operating in full masculinity. That's when you're tempering your words. And I'm reminded of this because I have people very close to me who watch my videos and I have conversations with them as well. And, my OG, my family, someone who's very close to me, he watches my videos from time to time. And he'll be like, man, you said what? And he'll replay something back to me that I said. And he's just like, I can't believe that you talk to women that way. And because he's holding them in an unnatural high esteem that he's not supposed to. And, he's catering to the woman. He's tempering his words. But me, I'm unafraid to lose any woman or lose anything that enters my life. So I speak to them in truth, but I speak to them from love. And he says, women don't want to hear this and women don't want to hear that. And, I laugh because I have to remind him, I'm like, this is a men's channel, right? And he thinks like women are going to creep over here. He's like, oh yeah, but you write the books and this and that. I said, you haven't read it. I said, if you read my book that I wrote to black women, you will understand that I spoke to them in love, that I told them the truth. And society is not pervaded by masculine men. There are not too many men that are operating in full masculinity, but the men who do operate in full masculinity, those are the men who are an absolute gift to women. If you're a gift to a woman, you tell her the truth because you've connected to the truth and you don't value her above you. And so that's a man that can tell a woman the truth, no matter how harsh it is or no matter how it sounds to her, because you understand that you and the words that you have to offer to her are the ultimate gift because you were designed to speak to her in a way that is designed to elevate her so that she can get better and more consistent elevated results in her life. When you truly understand the gift of masculinity and what that is to a woman, you will never temper your words. You will give the woman instruction, you will give her direction, and you will speak to her in direct accordance with what you want from her. That's when you're operating in full masculinity. So the people around me say, you said what? I said, yes, I said that. I said that. And this is why I say it gets a little deeper, because I'm going to revisit the order of creation. But before I even get to that, um, let's look at men who really love women and who really hate women, because I believe that a man, in order for him to truly pair himself with a quality woman, he has to love women. He can't have a sour taste in his mouth about women, and he can't, cry and complain about women. That's a man who's not prepared for the woman who's can recognize him and who's ready to submit to him. So, in order to be prepared for your woman who sees you as her person, she has to know that you love her. And not her, she has to know that you have a love for women. And that's why, paused before I went too deep into it. Kevin Samuels had a love for women because he told them the truth and he set them free. Derek Jackson hates women. That's why he tells them lies and takes their money. He runs backdoor and manipulative plays, and he was found out. Manipulators are always found out. That's why, the man that was speaking down on black women and telling black women they could do no wrong ultimately found out to be a cheater and that he was cheating on his wife. He was telling women to stay away from the exact man that he was. He hated women. Any man that wants to use a woman for anything hates her. Any man that's not afraid to speak to her in a straight line and deliver the gift of masculinity that he is to her in a straight line, he doesn't temper his words, he loves her because he understands that he was created to speak to her in a way that no one else could speak to her. And that's where it gets deeper, because I observe the order of creation and biblical instruction. So the Bible speaks of Adam, the first man, being created first. He was the first human being to occupy the earth. And he wasn't just he wasn't just occupying the earth aimlessly. He was given instruction. He was given direction. He was in the Garden of Eden, and he was given given an awareness of his place in creation and the power that he had. When God told him to name animals, when he said he walked with God every day. So he was getting Adam used to hearing his voice. God was getting Adam used to hearing his voice. And when God knew that Adam could adequately hear his voice and that he was faithful over the instruction that God gave to him, and that he had accepted his order in creation, meaning he had a direct line to God that was uninhibited, and he acknowledged it. That's how he could walk with God and get instruction. That's how he could tend and dominate and take care of his territory, which was the Garden of Eden. And when God felt safe that Adam had an awareness of who he was, then he put him to sleep, and out of Adam's rib, he created Eve. So we were being shown the direct order of creation and the gift that we are to women, because God did not give the woman man until God understood that the man had a direct pipeline to him, and that he understood the connection that he had to him and could adequately convey the instruction from God to him, to the woman. So God did not bless the woman with the man of the gift until the man had a full awareness of his space in creation, his dominance, his dominion. That's why he said he gave him dominion over the garden. And once he had dominion, and God knew that he had elevated Adam to the point that he had an awareness of himself, then he gave Adam Eve. But he didn't give Adam Eve, he gave Eve Adam. That's how much God loves women, that he prepared a man for her and created her from him. That's how much he loved women. And men, you have to love women the same way by being unafraid to offer her guidance and instruction, because God speaks to you at a pitch that he does not speak to her. That's why he says, wives, submit yourselves to your husbands. He's saying, wives, submit yourself to your ultimate covering so you can get the ultimate outcome from your life. I told you it was going to get deep. And so Eve was pulled from Adam in his most complete state because he pulled Eve from Adam's rib when Adam had a complete awareness of the connection that he had to God, was able to adequately and clearly hear his voice and take dominion over the territory that God gave him. Then and only then did he put Adam to sleep and create Eve. And there's deeper revelation in that, because you hear men say, "This, I'm so connected to this woman, she's my rib." That's what they're referring to. And so God put Adam in a peaceful state of rest and then created Eve from him. So any woman that he adds to your life is going to keep you in a peaceful and restful state. There will be nothing in the back of your mind concerning who she is. She will literally be your rib. She will acknowledge your place in her life, your place in the order of creation, and she will return to you because she knows that she came from you. She'll return to you. She'll submit to you. Submitting is to come under. And when a woman submits to you, she comes under you. She returns to you because she knows the source that you are designated to be for her. And so when you temper your words with women, and you tiptoe and you move about in a false manner, and you're moving in a roundabout manner, you don't love yourself enough to have an awareness of yourself to love her adequately the way that she's supposed to be loved. And you don't love women until you love yourself. That's how deep this thing gets. You don't love women until you've accepted your place in the order of creation, meaning that you will never temper your words for any woman. You will speak exactly what comes to you in your mind, in your spirit, because you know that you are a design leader and gift for her and to her. And so people think that Kevin Samuels hated black women and things like that. No. The pastor that lies to black women every Sunday because he's trying to line his pockets and wants to manipulate her, he hates her. But the gift that God gave us in terms of Kevin Samuels that told women the truth of what elevated men were looking for, that's the man that loved them. And the women that understood the pitch of the words that were coming from Kevin Samuels, they got breakthroughs. They got husbands. They got high quality men. Even to this day, I'm in the field. I'm doing the book signings. I write the book to black women. All the stuff that Kevin Samuels was doing, I'm thank God that I'm still alive to do a semblance of the work that he did. And women come to me, and they're older, 40, late 30s. Oh, I have a husband now. I'm engaged now because of Kevin Samuels. It's not that I'm, edifying Kevin Samuels. I'm exemplifying the intent and the love that he had for women. And you can judge where a person is coming from when they're making a deposit into someone's life by the results that the person gets when they implement the knowledge and the wisdom and the revelation that the source gave them. And Kevin Samuels was a source. And if you're a masculine man, you're a source. And the women who enter your life, they're going to be better. They're going to be better. And so that's why I'm completely unafraid to say anything to any woman, because I am the designated leader that's going to take her to her optimal outcome because God made it that way through his order. So I'm unafraid to say anything to any woman. I don't temper my words because I understand the magnitude of the man that I was designated to be in her life. And if you're afraid to talk to women in straight lines, it's simply because you have not fully inhaled yourself. And that's okay. We're all on a journey until we get our breakthrough. And if the women in your life are going to break through, then they're going to have to view you as a man who's completely connected to a source that doesn't value her or anything that she has to offer you above her. Women are waiting for a masculine man. They're waiting for a masculine man, whether they know it or not. They're waiting for a masculine man. I've been in situations with women where, women have come into my space and they had a physical interaction on their mind. They forget the date, forget that stuff. They invite themselves over here. And they see how laid out I'm living, and they find out things about me in terms of my profession, and they go to their innate software, which is to manipulate. And they say, oh, well, we can do this, once you do this, and I'm looking for this, I'm dating with intention. They hit all the buzzwords, and these are young girls from 23 to 43. This is the thing about a sexually attractive man. Okay, we're just making a transition here. A sexually attractive man is an identifiable prospect for a woman for where she can safely land. So some of you guys have seen extremely attractive men who don't have much going for themselves. The women will automatically just give themselves to the man because she clicks his physical box. She sexually stimulates him, but she won't stay with him. She'll discard him, or she might even keep him in a space, or in a physical capacity, but she won't be able to pair herself with him because she innately desires the man that's clicking on all cylinders, the sexy, attractive man that is literally clicking on all cylinders. And so you have women enter your space and they're thinking, okay, all they remember is the lust that they had for you, and they're thinking, I'm going to have sex with him. They prepared themselves to have sex with you, but they see the deeper reality of who you are, and they get hesitant, and they get hesitant in a healthy way because they're running misdirection, they're shape-shifting because they want more with you. And they think if they offer themselves to you like they do the lesser man, that you're not going to see them as a suitable mate. And let me tell you how deep this masculine thing runs, right? So I've had women who have come and invited themselves into my space with the intention of having sex and switched things up because their eyes got big, meaning that their imperative was stimulated that this is a man I can pair myself with, and I don't want to give him a version of myself that's going to not make him want to pair with me, even though the extreme sexual desire and attraction was there to the point that that's why she came over. And this is the depth and the power of masculinity right here. I've looked those women dead in their face. Now, mind you, okay, if a woman exhibits any hesitancy, you create physical space, okay? No coercion, none of that stuff. I'm not raising these kind of men over here, okay? Everything has to be her decision in terms of anything physical. So I'll create a little distance and I'll tell women, like, listen, I've identified the best experience that I have with women is that when we have intimacy as soon as we meet, when they desire me in accordance with how I desire myself. And then I talk to them in a straight line. I don't temper my words. I say, I know you've been with men who were not as attractive as me, and you offered yourself to them. I said, I have that awareness, and I'm incapable of seeing you again if we don't do anything physical. The man who is not afraid to lose her will always have her. And that's why the men look at me and say, well, you said what? Yes, I said that. Because I'm not afraid to lose her. Because I was designed to guide her. And this is what happens in that moment, okay? There's already a atmosphere and a level of sexual desire that she has for you before she shapeshifts, before her eyes get big, and she's like, oh my God, this can be my husband. Let me not offer myself to him. Okay, this is what happens. Once you talk to her in that straight line, and you do not temper your words, and you guide her exactly where you want her, what happens is that she's so in love with the foreign frequency of masculinity that you're speaking from, she loses her mind. You create distance and she takes her clothes off. And I'm not advocating anything super physical. You know, I talk about that stuff and, you know, my adventures, the sexy, attractive man, all that stuff. This is a little different tonight. What I'm saying is that a masculine man is the safest space that she can land with. And she knows it, even if she doesn't know it. She's stimulated to a point that it blows her mind and she can't do anything but take her clothes off. So all of the men who brag about taking women on dates and lying to them, manipulating them, and telling them what they want to hear, yeah, they may get to a physical outcome with the woman, but it pales in comparison with the woman offering herself to you because you have a level of masculinity that she's never encountered before. That she views you as someone that she was designed to submit to and pair to, that her biology acknowledges that you are the man that is in accordance with what she is supposed to submit to, even if she doesn't fully understand it, even if she never had that thought. Her biology is thinking for her, and she will offer herself to you because you didn't temper your words. You spoke to her from masculinity while other men speak to her from a place of fear. They're afraid to lose her. They cater to her. They consider her before they consider themselves. But masculine men consider themselves above the woman because he has to consider himself above her if he's going to adequately lead her. And the minute that you consider the woman above you, she can no longer view you as a safe space to land and submit to. She cannot return to you if you value her above you valuing yourself, because that means you cannot adequately lead her, because you cannot adequately lead yourself, because you don't have an understanding of yourself. You don't understand the order of creation. You don't understand the gift that you are to her. And on a biological level and a spiritual level, even if she doesn't physically and mentally understand these things, she understands them spiritually. And that's why she has certain feelings with different men that she can't explain. That's why she has certain feelings with different men that she can't explain. And when you're in full masculinity and you've accepted yourself as her leader and the leader of yourself and the leader of her, then you can speak to her at a frequency that is foreign to anything that she's ever heard before, even if she has a father in her life. And she immediately comes into submission to you and she offers herself to you. No conditions, no nothing. She tried to introduce conditions. Masculinity spoke to her, superseded that, and her biology kicked in. She says, I am yours because I'm supposed to be here with you. I'm supposed to be under you. And I've had women who tried that stuff. And, you know, like I said, I had my distance. And I'm like, listen, you know why you came over here. You invited yourself over here. I know that I'm more attractive than a lot of men that you've been with, that you've offered yourself to. I was just like, you know, I can't go past this. If we don't do this, then I can't go past it because I'm not taking a longer road than a lesser man had to take. So I'm telling her I'm so in tune with myself that I cannot give an offering to you number one, and I cannot give a greater offering than a lesser man has given to you that has been able to get you. And this sounds outlandish to the average man because the average man has not fully inhaled himself and he doesn't understand himself in terms of the gift that he is to the woman. And that woman, like I said, you have your distance and they take their clothes off. And you two, you all kick it, you all have conversations after the fact. And every last one of those women, they'll say, "You're so sure of yourself. I love that about you. You're so sure of yourself. I knew what you wanted, but you didn't talk in circles. You didn't cater to me." When she says you're so sure of yourself, she's saying you're so sure of yourself that you are a safe space for me to land. Those women don't just want you for sex. Those women want you to be their husbands. Because they're dealing with men who are very attractive, but they're not fully attractive to these women, and these women can't fully give themselves to these men. So they can't view these men as their husbands. These women want husbands, man. And she can't give herself to the man in the capacity of him being her husband because he hasn't taken his rightful place within the order of creation. And so she can trust him for an enjoyable time with an attractive man, but she can't trust him that he is a safe space to submit to and to land. She can't trust him. And so she can't respect him. And that's why they can have a great time, but she doesn't respect him. He's just like, damn, I look so good, and I'm taking her to these physical heights every time we get together, but I can't get all of her. And that's why men are frustrated, because yes, you're becoming a physically attractive man, but you're not a sexy attractive man until you're clicking on all cylinders, meaning you understand your place in creation, the order, the gift that you are to the woman. That's when a woman gives all of herself to you. And as an attractive man, maybe you have some attributes, maybe you worked on yourself. I mean, that just makes you an attractive man. An attractive man is going to have intermittent experiences with women that he wants, meaning that he's not going to be able to pin them down. Yeah, you can get in the door, but you can't stay there because she can't trust you. And that's why you're frustrated. That's why I have these coaching calls with these men. And thank you to all the men who be getting the coaching calls from me. They're like, I get it here and there, but I can't get it consistently from the women who look a certain way who I want. You get it here and there because your development is intermittent, so your experiences are going to be intermittent. They're not going to be fluid and congruent and stable and consistent. So until you fully inhale yourself, you won't fully develop into the man that can have the consistent experiences with the women that you want to have them with. You have to fully inhale yourself. You have to understand who you are and the magnitude of the gift that you are to every woman. And when you understand you're a gift, her perception of your masculinity begins immediately because you didn't temper your words as soon as you met her. You told her exactly what you wanted and why you were there. You did not temper your words because you are not tempered within yourself. You're operating in full masculinity and full capacity in terms of the match that you are for the woman that's in front of you. And her hardware recognizes it. And that's why she offers herself to you. And it's not just a one-time experience, or you get with her a few times and things like that. It's a continual experience until you decide if you want to pair yourself with her, because she's continually making herself available to you because she's already identified you based on your level of masculinity. The decision is yours. That's when a woman is yours to lose, when you're operating in full masculinity. That's when she's yours to lose. And the last thing I'll talk about, are the women who are trying to recreate the masculine experience that they had with you. Because some women, they think they can do better. You may have been involved with these women, and they have to take their journey to return to you. And you never take them back when they return to you, because the right woman is going to be fully inhaling you as soon as she meets you. She's in a full state of recognition. And I've been in a situation where a woman I dealt with, young, gorgeous, I dealt with her, we were pretty serious and talking future and all that kind of stuff. And the compatibility wasn't there, but the emotion was, and the desire was there. The combination wasn't in its fullness, so I chose to walk away, and it was too hard for her to actually have to have accountability in a man's space, because most men are weak betas. And so it's too hard for her to remain in my space, and we both walked away and never looked back. But the problem was that she went looking to recreate the masculinity that she found in me, and she couldn't do it. So a significant amount of time went past. I moved on, and I knew that she had been monitoring me and things like that. But I figured, we would run into each other. Where I live, area isn't big, the DMV. You're likely to run into someone from your past. And it happened. And the girl literally chased me down. And she started talking all the crazy stuff that she talks to men that let her remain in their space, because she's so young and she's so gorgeous. So she starts talking all the crazy stuff to me. And there was a moment where I just looked at her as she was talking, and she froze. And I spoke to something that she said, and I shut it down. And a smile came on her face, because she was longing for that level of masculinity. She was longing for the man who understood that he has a direct line to God, and that he has an elevated voice and impact and message for her. A smile came on her face. She was talking all kind of crazy stuff, and I shut it down. A smile came on her face. She's like, that's that masculinity that I remember, that my life is devoid of, that I thought that I could recreate. And I'll be real with you. This woman tried to put me in a situation and force me to have sex with her. But I knew what that level of chaos was like, and I did not desire her in a spiritual, physical, any sort of capacity it was. That ship had sailed. And I said, hey, we tried. I'm at peace, I'm not there with you. But I remember that smile that came on her face as she was talking crazy and this and that. And it was involuntary. And she's like, man, I'm back in the presence of a masculine man. And that's what I want you all to be. You all have to be that masculine man. It begins with not tempering your words when you talk to women. When you don't temper your words, you advertently let the woman know, I do not view you above me. Most men are going to temper their words, and that's why women are longing for masculinity, because the masculine man that she can safely return to, safely submit to, does not put her above himself. It simply doesn't happen. It just does not happen. They're longing for masculinity. And so that's why you have to be the masculine man, and it begins with you not tempering your words. If you understand that you have a place in creation above her, and she was meant to submit to you, you will never consider her above yourself, and you will never temper your words. You will give her the guidance, the instruction, and whatever's on your mind in terms of the experience that you want to have with her, you will spit it to her in a straight line, because you understand your place in creation. You fully inhaled yourself, and she subsequently can fully inhale you. And she can say, this is a safe space for me to land. So you never temper your words with a woman, no matter how young, gorgeous, decorated, whatever she has going for her. You never temper your words for any woman. And you show her that you are a safe space of masculinity that she can safely land in, and that she can go into an alternate universe in reality, away from the weak betas that consider her above considering themselves. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight titled, Never Temper Your Words for Any Woman. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm as I continue to bring you these elevated messages. To anyone who wants me to make a custom video, if there's a particular topic that you want me to speak on, a donation of $50 or more to my PayPal or my Cash App that's in my video description will get your video on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, in 24 hours or less. Leave the subject of what you want me to speak about in your custom video. Okay, what you want me to speak about in your video. Leave the subject in my PayPal or my Cash App in a note on PayPal or Cash App, and then make your donation of $50 or more, and I will put your video up on my page in 24 hours or less. If your subject matter is more in-depth than a note, then you make your donation first on my PayPal or Cash App, and then you email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more in-depth description of what you want me to talk about. And your custom video, my response to what you said, your answers, will be up on my page and on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, in 24 hours or less. And if this video has been of value to you, if your thought process have been elevated as a result of encountering my message, if this is different than what you've been hearing and it took your mind and your spirit to a different place, then drop something in my donation information. Make a donation that is a reflection of the impact that I had in your life. My PayPal and my Cash App are in my video description, and make a donation that is a reflection of the impact that I had in your life. And if you're in need of coaching, if you know that my voice resonates with you, and that my voice and my instruction and my guidance can take you to a place in the dating space that you have yet to be able to arrive to, where you desire to be there, I am your man. I can take you to the breakthroughs and the optimal outcomes in the dating space that you're searching for. Email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Put coaching in the subject matter. Leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space. I will do an assessment of your challenges, and I will get right back to you with the answers, and the coaching will begin immediately. I'll get back to you with the terms of the coaching, and the coaching will begin immediately. And that's essentially it. I've enjoyed spending some time with you tonight. I hope you all could follow me and hang in there with this one. This was a little deeper. But just understand that masculinity, the woman's interpretation of your masculinity, begins with your fearlessness in terms of not tempering your words when you talk to her. You talk to every woman in the same straight line because you're the same gift to every woman when you've truly inhaled yourself and you've maximized yourself and you've become the masculine, sexually attractive man that's inside of you. You have an awareness of that man. You understand that you are guidance, you are breakthrough, you are the truth, you are elevation for any woman that you encounter. And when you inhale yourself to that capacity, you will innately never temper your words. You will talk to every woman in a straight line, and you will have a full understanding and awareness that you are a gift to her. She's no better than you. She has nothing to offer you that's above what's inside of you. And you speak to her from that place of consciousness. I'll see you soon.